Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing. Welcome. Glad to have everyone here. We are kicking off our second week and likely our final week of the daily dose of awesomeness. And again, it is not daily, it is every other day. So big thanks to everyone who has submitted questions. Today, we will be answering questions for 8 of you. If any of you have not submitted questions yet and you would like to submit a question to potentially have your question answered, I do pull anywhere from 7, 8-ish names each time that we do this. We do this about every other day. I pull about 7 or 8 names and then I will answer your questions here. And typically answering your questions answers things and provides guidance for others as well who are listening. But if you have not submitted a question, please go on ahead and submit that. If you've not had a question answered or you haven't submitted it, go on ahead and submit below because it will only be one question per person. So if I've already answered a question for you, it will just be the one question being answered because that way we can get as many people in as possible. And if you've already submitted a question, you don't need to resubmit the same question because I've already got you in the bowl to pull from. And so for those of you that have not thought of a question, make it good. Think of it, make it good. You get this one shot and one question, not multiple parts, not multiple parts, just one. So go on ahead and get that question submitted if you've got it, burning question down below, and I will put you in the queue to possibly have that answered on Tuesday because today is Sunday, March 29th, 2020. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I have the cards sitting out. And we're just going to we're going to just flip them over as I knock everything around. Okay. I don't want to get you guys out of order. Got your questions in the queue. Okay. So they're saying these are three different types of categories questions. So meaning, a lot of times in the readings, it will all flow together. So it'll be like one main subject or one main thing occurring. This is like 3 separate messages, but you don't have to select their saying. Okay. So the first one, let me shove that up here. Put this front and center so you can see the details. These are some great cards. These are my vice versa tarot. Now they're interesting because you always with these cards have the, so there's never reversals because the reversal is the flip side of the card. Although it makes it interesting when shuffling them because I get to throw them on the floor and throw them around and mix them all up and flip them and all while praying and asking what messages that God, Jesus, and angels have for you today. So the nice thing is you have them on the right side because here is the reversal side. Now you have the One of Cups. And this is all about a gift of love, blessings at hand. You're being encouraged to be ready to receive the gifts, the blessings, and most of you it is in fact something regarding love that's coming your way, but to accept it with gratitude because for some of you this is something you have been waiting for quite some time. So instead of being like, oh my gosh, finally, about time, no. Be like, oh, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, angels. Oh, I am so appreciative of this. Hallelujah. Thank you for bringing this in. And it's not for all of you, love. I mean, it could be for some of you. Maybe you've been waiting for a lawsuit to conclude or something that's going to bring you blessings, financial blessings. It's going to bring you happiness of heart, joy. So for many of you, that will be happening as soon as this week, they are saying. And for some, it's, you see how you got this white dove. So for some, it's almost like a peace offering, something that's going to finally bring you to a state of peace, they're saying. And with that, you have this Lover's card. Now, when I was shuffling these cards, these two actually popped out on their own and fell in my lap together. So they go hand in hand. Now, this Lover's card, you've got it upright. This would technically be the reverse, but you do not have that. You have it upright where you've got this archangel hovering over these lovers. Beside the woman, you've got this tree of life. Beside the man, you've got this tree of knowledge. This card is about urgency. something happening rapidly. If you can see, they're standing on the burnt, charred ground, like whoo, a flame just came in there rapidly. And this is indicative of a romantic relationship, a very significant relationship. So for some, this is about offering this cup of love and jumping into it without being sure how you're going to get there, but just going for it, and knowing that you will get there together. And others of you, this is about receiving that cup of love. So maybe that cup of love comes in, you're like, oh my gosh, this is fast, this is furious, I don't know if I can do this, but this is, you're being divinely watched over, you're being divinely guided. So if this offering of love comes in, take it, even though you don't have all the details. You don't know how this is going to work, because some of you are like, okay, I want to know A through Z, all the details, what you're thinking, how this is going to play out. Well, it's going to happen so quickly that you're not going to get all that information, but just to trust and go with it. It will be quick and swift. And to be sure that you're also looking at things through the other's eyes. If you can see in this card, to show polar opposites, feminine, masculine, you got black, you've got white, but you look at their masks, they're wearing the color of the mask of the other's body. So to look at things from their perspective. So for some of you, this could be someone coming and offering love. Have not been around a while, you've been waiting for them to come. Thank you, angels, thank you, God, thank you for making this happen. I'm very thankful. But instead of looking at from your perspective, like, oh my gosh, you left me, you ghosted me, you went for this person, look at it from a stance of kindness, compassion. Look at it from their perspective. So for some of you, you have your twin flame returning in the very immediate future. But instead of getting your panties in a wad and getting upset, like, how could you hurt me? How could you do that? Do you have any idea how deeply that hurt me to have you up and leave? Instead, look at it from their perspective. They didn't see the connection for what it was then. They had healing that they had to do, things that they had to grow through, lessons, things that they had to conclude and culminate. It wasn't that they were intentionally hurting you, but they had to conclude their lessons. They had to finish their growth. They didn't know the depth of the connection at that point. You knew the depth of the connection early on. They did not understand and know that. Oh, did you just hear them clink on my glass door twice in a row? Ding, ding. It's like, you got it, girl. Keep going. Okay, so yes, look at it through their eyes and be open to hearing them out, because you'll both be taking off those masks and communicating with each other. This is all about getting clarity also on your choices. And this is a big choice that you're making, so to have clarity on that. So clarity on the choices that you're making, so those of you that are offering and those of you that are accepting. Now, on the lighter side, because not all of you have someone coming in. Some of you are already actually in a relationship. And this is about making a decision with your partner where you are both on the same page. So you've got these decisions coming at you fast and furious. Maybe you're trying to decide about relocating. Maybe you're trying to buy a new house, pick out a new house, pick out things for the new house. Maybe you're trying to decide on a new car. It's a big choice. It's a big decision. It's something that will make you happy. But you have to be at peace. You have to come to a compromise together. You have to agree on this. So, if not, there could be flames. Things could be burning up in flames. There could be lots of arguments if you're not on the same page, which is understandable. If any of us are in a marriage or a committed relationship where we're living with a partner and we decide that, hey, I'm going to go out and buy a new $60,000 boat, and we don't run it by our spouse to say, hey, honey, what do you think about this idea? Yeah, they're going to be livid when they find out. They may love going out on the water. They may really enjoy it and appreciate it. They may have always had a dream of getting a boat. But the fact that you don't include them in on that decision and you just jump in full speed ahead without them, that will cause some problems. So in order to not have any problems, we don't want things to go up in flames. In order to not have problems, make sure you're communicating those things and that you are both on the same page and you're making the decisions together. Boom. We are on to number 2. Okay. Say no. Okay. What are we supposed to be saying no about? All 3 of them are the that side of the card, which would be the reversal. But it's kind of interesting with these cards because even though, you know, because we always think, oh, okay, reversals are negative. There are some cards in this deck where actually the reversal is actually much more positive meaning. So you have the Sun card, the Emperor card, and the 4 of Swords. This card's about, you know, your doubts, your fears, your concerns, that you're having this wall up, being justified. Yeah, there's this wall protecting. So you are correct to be protecting yourself, to being on guard. And they're also saying for standing up for yourself. For some of you, they're pointing out this phallic statue. So for a number of you, you are a divine masculine. This is about you standing up for yourself and telling someone or a group of people, no, I'm not doing that. I've got my eye on this. I know there is no good that's going to come of this. And no, stop. They're saying stop pressuring me. Because some of you have someone or a group of people pressuring you to do something. For a number of you, it's something to do with monetary things, money, because you have this Emperor card. And the Emperor, you know, in this, he's like looking over his empire and all of these people that he is responsible for, that he takes care of. But this card also is, you know, a reminder that we need to be proud of ourselves, proud of our accomplishments. This is also about bearing our responsibilities well and appropriately. Because not everything's your responsibility. So for some of you, they're trying to make you think that this is your responsibility. Oh, you have to do this because you've always done it. Or you've always bailed me out. Could be a lover, friend, family member, but you know, you've always bailed them out. Every time they need something, you give them the cash, you come and give whatever they need, do whatever they need for them, and they've grown accustomed to that. But this is saying that they are not your responsibility. They're not your kingdom. They're on the other side of the wall. So don't give in to them. They're saying don't give in to them. And they're also saying, because it's about like not being rigid, because everything doesn't have to be rigid. Everything doesn't have to be set in stone. It doesn't have to be like, well, this is always how it's been, so this is always how it has to be. No, this is a new day, new dawn. They're saying that something in this relationship has gone up in flames, but they're almost, so for some of you, maybe this was somebody you were in a romantic relationship with, and you were always taking care of all their bills, and they're the most financially irresponsible person, or they make horrible decisions, and they conned you into some things, and you read it, but you've always done it that way. And even though you aren't married or in a relationship with them, they still try to work their way to get you to pay for and do the things that they want you to do. But the relationship, the foundation that had you doing those things for so long, has gone up in flames. But they're still trying to get you to take care of them, provide for them, do for them. But you're being told to say no. It's time to stop. They're not your kingdom. They are not your responsibility. And they're saying that this is time for a change. To stop doing things like that. Which is repeated in this card, this 4 of Swords, because you see he's like This king, he's just asleep. He can't even look, and out behind him, everything's up in flames. His village has gone up in flames, but there's nothing he can do about it. And they're telling you, you have to say no, because you can't do anything else for this person or these people. There is nothing more for you to do. You've done all you can. You have done all you should do. It is time for you to stop doing for them. You are mentally, physically, and spiritually exhausted. You've given all you can to this, and they're saying that enough's enough. It's time to cut that cord. And they do keep saying, like, you are going to have to stand firm and stand up for yourself, because this person or these people try to guilt you. They really try to play hard on your sense of responsibility. So the angels are encouraging you to remember, you are not responsible for them. They are not your responsibility. They are not your spouse. You did not give birth to them. They are not your child. They are not your responsibility. So they're asking you, please stand up for yourself and say no. It's time for this, they're saying, like, this chapter, this regime, because you've been doing it like this for so long. So for most of you, you may be, taking care of this person and giving into them like most of your life, if not your entire adulthood. But it's time for that to end. So encouraging. So for a number of you, like, this person is reaching out or is going to be doing that within the next week to 2 weeks. So say no. No. Okay. Oh. Okay, they like that one. Okay. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Let's see. So, they're encouraging you to listen to the divine messages, divine guidance, your intuition, that inner knowing that you're receiving. You're receiving a lot of messages from them. This card is hearing messages from Spirit. At the bottom it says, I am a clear channel for messages from Spirit. So they are encouraging you to listen to that guidance, listen to that internal nudge, that internal knowing, your intuition. Listen to the signs and synchronicities and messages that they're giving you. Because, and they're saying, and take action on those things. Oh, they just clinked my window again. And those things are with regards to your manifesting your dreams. At the bottom it says, my dreams are coming true. So some of you are being encouraged to plant some seeds so that they will reap an abundant harvest. So they're encouraging you to, this week, plant those seeds. Get that fresh start going. Take the preparatory steps that you need to take. And for some of you, on a lighthearted note, you are actually being encouraged to plant a garden. So if you've got this thought that you need to plant a garden, go on ahead and do that. But for the majority of you, this is about planting those seeds. There's some actions that they've been encouraging you to do. Who knows, you could be that person that's supposed to be reaching out with an offer of love or sharing feelings or communicating those things. Or it even could be that, hey, I want to, I've really been dreaming about buying this, new house, So have the conversation with your spouse and then make that offer. That would be planting that seed, make the offer on the house. But listen to the guidance, the information, the message that you're getting, and then take those action steps. For others of you, use this time this week. You've got embarking on an adventure. At the bottom it says, I savor the wonders of the world. And you see, she's in this, if you can see that, she's in this balloon and she's got this binocular. And she's looking down at all the different places that she could go and she could travel to. So they're saying for a number of you, there's a trip. You've been thinking about a trip somewhere. So go on ahead this week and make those travel plans, although they are encouraging you to make them after May. Could be late May for some of you. But go on ahead and make your travel plans. because that's going to also help boost your spirit, give you something to look forward to, something to anticipate. This being in your home is not going to be lasting forever. It is going to be lifting up. You will be set free in May. Well, many of you still aren't going to be stuck in your homes in April, but things will be getting back to normal in May. So go on ahead and plan your travels either for the end of May heading into June, but do that. And some of you are being encouraged to take a trip somewhere and you're like, you don't understand why. Like, why would I want to go there? I've never had the thought there, but it keeps popping up in your head over and over and over. Well, go on ahead and plan a weekend getaway there. And the last one is you have communicating freely. And it says, I communicate from the depths of my being. So you're getting these divine nudges, this constant nagging thought that, oh my gosh, I need to call so-and-so. Oh my gosh, I need to have a talk with them. For some of you, it's this offer of love, like, oh my gosh, I need to call this person and be like, okay, when can we meet up? When can we have dinner? For some of you, you're going to call them up and be like, I can't stop thinking about you. I really would like to sit down and chat with you. When can we do that? Others of you, this is communicating with your loved ones, your family, your friends, your mom, your dad, your siblings. Because at this time, especially as many of us are indoors, it does boost one's spirit to talk with their loved one, to communicate with their loved one, to hear that fluctuation in their voice. Yes, text messages are nice, emails are nice, but they cannot replace the sound, the resonance of your voice, the vibration of your voice. That brings connection, and that will help boost them, and that will also help boost you. So if you're being nudged, you've got the thought of, hey, I should give my mom a call, or my grandma a call, or hey, I can't get him off my mind. I should call him or call her. Pick up the phone, make those calls this week. They're nudging you for a reason. They would like you to listen to their nudges and take some action accordingly. Okay. Is that it? Okay, we're going to get started on your questions. There's 8 of you today. Now, let me take a drink of water. You know I'm going to. Lexi's ready to take a walk. Oh, so when I was wrapping the table, and that's why you guys wanted that color. So the angels guide me on everything to do for these readings for you. Everything from what color I'm going to put on the table to what deck of cards that I'm going to listen to. You guys want me to bring that song up? What deck of cards I'm going to use. And so everything's guided. So like when I was getting ready to decorate this table, I turned on my phone and just hit scramble and listen to music. And this first song came on. And then it played again. Which, if you've ever had something like, say you have a song that keeps repeatedly playing, that would be the angels trying to give you a message. So like me, there's a couple songs that they will just play over and over on my phone, but they're only in my playlist one time, so they should not repeatedly come up, and I have thousands of songs. Like, it should come up and not come up for days, right? But if you repeatedly hear something playing, that's a message. And when I was wrapping the table, I put my phone on and hit scramble, and this song came up. And it's Mercy by Brett Young. So if you listen to country, you guys are really going to earn your reading today. I just want to kind of tell you what the lyrics are. Archangel Michael's telling me to sing. But it starts off, mercy, why you gotta show up looking so good just to hurt me? But it's a really, really good song. Oh, that's why. So there's part of this song that goes, and if you're gonna break my heart, just break it. And if you're gonna take your shot, then take it, take it. And if you've made up your mind, then make it, but make this fast. If you ever loved me, whoa, if you ever loved me, have mercy. That's why they played that song. That's why they picked the color of your table. This blue is Archangel Michael's blue. So a lot of you, when your intuition starts opening, you'll start to see colors. Sometimes you're seeing colors because that could be the type of thing that's being healed on you. Sometimes you will see colors because that could be like the beings that are around you. Now the Octurians, they are blue. Sometimes you'll see the colors because could be that angel that it's their color that's there. So Archangel Michael, he's my primary guide, as most of you know. And when he pops in, I will see a big blue aura, then I'll actually see him. Although sometimes, well, most times I won't see the color, I'll just see him. But initially when I was first opening up, I would see the color. And so I would know that that was him. So this is his color, and Archangel Michael, he's there to provide us, help us have strength, help us to muster up courage, help us to have the courage to do something. He will protect us. He makes sure that we're protected. He is God's warrior. He is pretty bad, pretty strong. You don't want to mess with Archangel Michael. One of the first people I did a reading with at an expo years ago, many years ago, he sat down. He's like, so you talk with Archangel Michael? I'm like, yeah, he's my primary guide. Well, he's terrifying. I'm like, well, no, he's not terrifying if you're on the right side. Because there's light, there's dark. We all have a little bit of everything in us. We all have a little bit of dark. We've all got a little bit of light. But you know, it's like, what team are you? What team are you on? If you're not doing things with light and love, Archangel Michael would be scary. Because he's here to bring peace, love, justice. And that's what he delivers. And but he's here to protect us, to help us, to guide us when we have to have a conversation or do something and we're having difficulty mustering that strength. We call Archangel Michael. Hey, I need some help. Could you come down here? Because I'm shaking in my boots. You're telling me to call this person and apologize or tell them this, and I don't think I can do it. I need some help. Archangel Michael, I seriously need some help. I need you down here right now to help me do this. And boom, he'll be there. He'll help you do it. But it's interesting because when you look, I've got this ribbon over here, and it's like, it's also got his colors in there. I don't even know if I can reach that deck. I don't even know. Peacocks, no, I can't reach it. So peacocks, the most brightly colored peacocks are male peacocks, and so they like to strut very proudly to show off how pretty and beautiful this is like peacock feathers. And again, the male peacocks are the most brightly colored. So divine masculine, that's what that song was about. There's a shot, there's a chance, there's something that you're wanting to take. So most of you, this is a cup of love that you're wanting to offer. A conversation you're wanting to have with your divine feminine. They're encouraging you to take that shot. Take that chance. Just as they were telling her at the beginning of this reading that she needs to see things through your eyes and be open and receptive, in order for her to do that, you need to take the shot. You need to take the chance. You need to pick up the phone, make that phone call, have that communication, have that conversation. They're saying that it is going to turn out well. It will turn out in your favor. Because again, these are both the positive cards, not the dark, ugly ones. These are the positive cards. It will turn out in your favor. But for you to discover that, it does require you taking that chance. Just like Brett Young says in his song, you know, it's about you taking that shot. So they're encouraging you to take that shot, take your chance, communicate. And Archangel Michael, oh my gosh, he's funny. He was just showing me shaking. He's like, a lot of you are shaking in your boots. Like, how the hell am I going to do this? Oh, she's going to slam the phone down on me. She's not going to do that. She's not going to do that. You will be pleasantly surprised. So stop shaking in your boots, pull up your boots, and pick up your phone. And ask Archangel Michael for help, and he's going to help you with that. So let's move on to your questions. First question we had, now again, if I butcher your name, I am sorry, I apologize now. And we're going to go from there, and hopefully I won't butcher anyone's name too terribly today. So today, first question is from Daisy Daisy D89. I would like to know if he will propose. Now, Daisy, you did a couple other parts to your question, but we can only do one part. So we're going to go with the proposal, your first question you came out the gate with. Yes, he is going to propose, but they're showing me it's not going to be in the immediate future. It's going to be a little bit down the road. Likely 2021. So don't be upset. Don't be discouraged. It is going to happen. It will be coming about. It's just not going to be next month. But it will be happening. And that was easy. Thank you for the easy question. Okay, on to mystical one. Is this my time to finally heal my heart from all past trauma done so that I can finally let someone love me and touch me? CDC says we're not allowed to touch anyone, mystical one. Okay, it's been 13 years. I believe it's time to step fully on whatever my life path is. Let's get you one of these. If I can pick the deck up. Okay. So, yeah, you're feeling really stuck. Oh, and there we go. You have bust out of your cocoon. So you are being encouraged to push past your fears. You're very overwhelmed by fears, by worries. But again, Archangel Michael can help you get past those things. But you are being encouraged to push past those fears, your worries, as well as your limiting beliefs. Because you have fear that you're not going to find love. You're not going to find the right person. So you're not taking your shot. You're not taking your chance. Even you going back to that song, Mystical One, it's about taking your chance, taking your shot, putting yourself out there. Because of your fears, you have been you have had limiting beliefs and views, thinking it's not going to happen, questioning your worth, your value. It's just time to remember that you're amazing and put yourself out there, having the courage to move forward and embrace the new opportunities and beginnings. They're also encouraging you to release what's not serving you and step away from it. So like you asked about, healing past trauma, you've been doing a lot of healing already. And throughout our whole life, we're always going to have healing that we can do. We're never completely healed. I mean, when we're completely healed, we're going to cross over to the other side because our mission here is done. So we're always going to be healing. And I like to compare it to an onion because we may slough off a big, thick layer of the onion and we may think, oh, that's finally healed from that, trauma with my father or whatever it may be, that's gone, that's healed, or trauma from that, con artist I dated. It's all gone, it's finally healed. And then that might resurface. It might be triggered. It's not going to be as difficult to heal, but might have something pop up 10 years down the road. Well, a little minor tweak and it's healed again, it's gone. But there's always little things popping up to be healed. They're encouraging you to not use that as a clutch. Don't think that you can't move forward in love because you're still working on yourself, because you're still not healed. You are healed. You're ready for love. You're ready to move forward. Because sometimes we can think that, I need to stay in this spot where I am right now because I'm not healed. I'm not ready. What's still wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with you. You've done enough healing. It's time for you to move forward. But it hinges off you making the decision to move forward because you're still kind of afraid to move forward. You want to move forward. You want to take a chance. You want to put yourself out there. You want to go on dates. But since you are fearful of how it will go, you're staying stuck in your shell like, I don't know, maybe I still need to work on myself. You don't need to keep working on yourself. You're fine. You're ready to go. But to make that decision that, yes, I am healed. I am ready. I'm ready for love. I'm ready for my future. I'm ready for that next step, that next chapter. I'm ready for my toe curler to come in. And then do it. Stop thinking about it and do it. Put yourself out there. Accept that offer to go to dinner. And then you'll get that person. And by then, the restrictions will be lifted, and then you can touch them. Right now, CDC won't let us do that. Okay, hopefully that helped you. And we are going to move on to LR. I have detached from my twin divine masculine and don't want him anymore. My biggest regret ever is chasing him. Lexi. Shh. I know you like to chase the neighbor dog. My biggest regret ever is chasing him. I do feel as he has deep regret over me. I would like to know if he does and if he spies on me. Okay, we are going to pull you some cards real quick. And these are already shuffled very well. I put these on the floor and twirl them around. 4. Okay. You get 4. They sure do like that number lately. Okay. In case you haven't noticed, the past couple readings, everybody was getting 4 cards. Okay. The first question really to ask yourself is, do you want him or do you not want him? Because you've asked me, you've told me that you don't want him, but then you're asking me, you know, does he regret not being with you? Is he watching you, spying on you, keeping an eye, keeping tabs on you? If you didn't want him and you didn't care about him, you wouldn't be asking me if he still cares about you. And the reason and Archangel Michael's saying they, the reason they are encouraging you to evaluate that is because when it comes to any relationship, be it a high-level soulmate relationship, be it a twin flame relationship, a twin soul relationship, it doesn't matter what the name is, any divine soulmate deep connection, especially if it's a very high-level soulmate connection or any that's a twin, when it comes to those relationships, if you are yo-yoing and you're back and forth all the time, he's going to be presenting to you exactly where you are. So I have a number of people that will ask me, like, I don't understand. He calls me, then he disappears. We go out and then he disappears. Okay, well, where are you emotionally? You want him, you love him, you can't wait to be with him, and I hate him, he makes me so mad, I just wish he would disappear, not call me again, but I miss him, and I love him, and I want him, but he went out on that date with that girl, I just can't stand that he chose her over me, I don't want anything to do with him, but I love him. Okay, but you see, she's up, she's down, she's up, she's down, and then what does he do? He calls, he disappears, he goes to dinner with her, he disappears. Divine feminine, we are the ones in charge. We are the ones taking the lead. They will behave in the way that we are behaving or the way that we are thinking and feeling. So if we aren't loving ourselves, they're not going to come to the state to love themselves, to release themselves from toxic relationships that come our way. If we're not thinking we deserve better in all aspects of our life, like not putting up with people's, come on Lexi, not putting up with people's shenanigans and poor treatment, well then, if we're not putting our foot down and setting healthy boundaries with people, they're not going to set healthy boundaries with people. A lot of times it's with their karmic that oversteps boundaries and is disrespectful and rude to them. But again, you're not loving yourself enough. If you're not setting boundaries and doing those things, they're not going to love themselves. They're not going to set boundaries and do those things. They take the lead of the divine feminine, especially when it comes to twin relationships, but all soulmate karmic relationships. They're going to follow suit of the feminine. So if you're saying you don't want him, but then you want to know if he's keeping time, you do still want him. So the best thing is for you to help find yourself some balance and what you do want. Because when you can come to that state, then things can change. And that's even being reflected in these cards. You've got trust. At the bottom it says this situation is calling for you to have faith. Then you have stay optimistic. Come here, Lexi. So Lexi wants up here, again, she's just loving interrupting our readings every day. I'm going to have to start doing this when she's napping. She's too little to jump up in the chair. When she tries to jump in the chair, she smashes her little face in the front of the chair. But she likes to play this cat and mouse game, kind of like a lot of divine feminines do. Okay, where she comes near me and goes away. But now she finally decided she wanted up in the chair So she came all the way to me so I could put her in the chair. So that's kind of where you are, LR. Do you want him or do you not want him? But you've got trust. At the bottom it says the situation is calling for you to have faith. You have to stay optimistic about your love life. At the bottom it says positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. You have romantic feelings, and this is reversed. And at the bottom it says your feelings are real and worth exploring, but that is reversed. And then you do have deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So this person that you're asking about, at this point in their life, they are not romantically focused on the relationship with you. But if you look at it, you don't want them. And not to be harsh, but just really because it's extremely imperative for divine feminine to come into balance with what they want. Because until they come fully into balance and fully into loving themselves, when they finally get to the point when a divine feminine finally gets to the point that she loves herself, she knows what she wants, she knows what she's deserving, she stops, because it's kind of like a cycle that, I'll see often. So a divine feminine, she'll go through that time of, what am I doing? But it's heartbreak, because it is heartbreaking to love someone that deeply and then have them not choosing you and having them go in the other direction. But then once they get through that turmoil, emotional turmoil, then they get to the point of just loving themselves and knowing that they're enough. Knowing that, if they're twin flame twins, their twin's always with them. They don't need to pine and wonder what's going on with him anymore. They're good. They're fine. They love them. They're always going to love them, always going to have a connection. They want them physically there, but they're not pining and worrying about it anymore, so they're not an emotional wreck and roller coaster any longer. But then they get to this point of loving themselves enough that they set healthy boundaries with others. So maybe they have someone that's not really a friend, could be a frenemy, that's just using them for money, using them for whatever they can get, or not being very kind to them. Well, they'll set up boundaries. They'll end that relationship. They'll end that friendship. They'll say, no, I'm sorry, can't do that. Because they love themselves enough that they set healthy boundaries. Well, once they've gotten that point, they're balanced, they're set, then the sea is calm. And then what happens is now they don't know what's happening because they're not talking to their divine masculine. They're not talking. So this triggers the divine masculine start going through his healing. Now again, the whole time the divine feminine has no clue what's going on. She has to maintain that balance. She has to maintain healthy boundaries. She has to continue to love herself. She has to not question it. I've still not heard from him. I finally am balanced, Nicole. I'm there. It's been 9 months. He's taking care of his business. But once you're at that state, you have to stay at that state, because then that triggers him. He starts going through the healing process. He starts to love himself. He starts to know that he's worth it. He starts to set healthy boundaries with everyone, to include a toxic karmic that he may be with, who may be cutting him down, maybe saying mean things, maybe just using him for money, maybe just using him for sex, whatever that may be. But he then finally starts setting those healthy boundaries, and then boom, he realizes the connection, and then he reaches out to his divine feminine. But that process does not happen in 1 month, 2 months, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It is a lengthy process. And that whole time, the divine feminine has no clue what he's going through. And that's where you're at right now. They're encouraging you to trust that everything's fine. Be optimistic. Know that everything's going to work out. They're encouraging you to focus on you in your life and really determine what it is that you want. Right now, he's not feeling those romantic feelings. And it's not that he doesn't have a connection with you. It's not that he doesn't love you and care for you. He is going through his own personal healing and growth right now, where he is trying to find what is missing in his life. Why is he not happy with his life? And he's trying to be honest with himself, which interestingly is something that's mirroring with you, of being honest with yourself. Do you want him or do you not want him? And once you make that decision of, okay, I do want him, then to have your emotions and your thoughts and your things match with that, because right now they're not matching. And you are the one who's in the lead. So they're encouraging you, because you have a false self-mask, to really decide what you want and get those things in balance while he's taking care of his things. Just as many people are, like at this time, Earth has been put on a pause, a little timeout. For some of us a month, for some of us a few weeks, some of us a couple months. But for most, it's going to be a few weeks. But we're in this temporary pause to do this healing, this reflection, this growth. So to make the most of this healing time, if you can find your state of balance, LR, And you can be like, okay, yeah, I do want him. I do love him. I didn't mean that, Nicole. I'm going to take that back. Then get your emotions lined with that. Get your desires. Trust that everything's going to be fine. Don't think that, oh my gosh, I've not heard him. He's not calling. That's it. I'm done with him. He's dealing with his own stuff. You just need to focus on you. Because for true twin flames, true twin souls, the masculine's going to follow the woman's lead, the feminine's lead. And you're not going to know it for months, but you have to get to that state, loving you, loving him, just where he is and exactly like he is. Loving him, and even if he's with someone else, loving him even though he's not calling, because knowing that he's you. Because with twins, they are one. And with divine feminine's at that state of, okay, I love him no matter what. I know he's always going to be with me. I'm happy in my life, taking care of my things. I've got my emotions balanced. It could be quite some time until you hear from him. But you could really use this time to your value, in your favor, to help him as he's doing his healing, because that's what he's doing right now. So I hope that long answer made sense and helped you out. Yeah. So we are moving on to number 4, I believe. See lashawn. Okay, so Crystal wants to know, not sure if he's done with karmic, but I know he's unhappy and maybe waiting on money or to come back. And then she put here, quarantine is probably adding a lot of wake-up calls for people. Yes, the quarantine is giving a lot of people wake-up calls. Hence why many divine masculine at this point during this time are finally ending things with karmics. A number of them will be reaching out to their divine feminine. And that's with a large number of twin flames as well as a number of twin souls. And then there are some soulmates that will be occurring for as well. But that's why this was intended particularly for twin flames. So that people would have this time to reflect what's working, what's not working. And then during this time, not just to think, oh, this doesn't make me happy, I'll just sit here in misery, whoa, continue to be unhappy. No. Okay, you spent the first few days of your lockdown realizing you're miserable. You hate where your life is. You hate the relationship that you're in and questioning why have you stayed in this for so long. So then you get the rest of the time to end that. And then you get time to plant seeds for, okay, I've during this time also realized this is what I want in a partner. And oh, that's the person I really want to pursue that with. And that I feel the connection with that one. So then they use this time to make a call and set up a time to see a month from now or whatever. Or just, hey, let's just start to just chat on the phone or whatever. But that's what this time is for. He is not done with her yet. Although she can tell that the end is near. And she's like grasping at straws, they're showing me. She's very controlling. She's haven't tossed anything, be it from you, be it from anyone else, deleted messages. She's very... they're saying Spygate. So she like stalks him, like tries to hack into his stuff. It's kind of creepy. But don't worry, he's going to get there. He does understand the connection with you. His perspective has changed. He understands your wants, your needs, because he's now getting that connection. So just as you could sense that he's unhappy and those things, he can sense more now what's going on with you. He does still fear failure, which would be, if he happens to listen to this message, he would be one of the divine masculine that Archangel Michael is encouraging or giving a punt kick in the derriere to move in your direction, to break up with the karmic, to contact you, because he's not going to have failure with you. Unfortunately, with a lot of the divine masculine, they are afraid that there's going to be failure because things did not end on a good note. They ghosted, they chose someone else, and now that they're feeling this connection, they're feeling that, oh my gosh, I really did break her heart. How the hell am I going to make this right? How am I going to fix this? Now I realize she's the one, but how am I going to fix it? Which is why Archangel Michael and the whole team is surrounding them that it's okay. It's going to be fine. She loves you. You just need to pick up the phone. You need to pick up the phone and make a phone call, boo-boo. after you break up with the one that you don't want to be with. So yes, he's one of the many divine masculine that are being encouraged to do something and has the team surrounding them. And he will be doing that. In the meantime, you keep doing taking care of you. They're also he's encouraging you. They're encouraging you. Stop beating yourself up. Because they're saying you're perfect as you are. You're very critical of yourself. So encouraging you to stop being so critical of yourself. And to know that everything's fine. They're taking care of it. You just can't see yet. And yes, this downtime is helping benefit him. And ultimately the two of you. Okay, so we are moving on to the next, which is Jennifer Larsen. Okay, so Jennifer wants to know, will I ever be in a committed romantic relationship? Okay, of course you are. Yes, look at that. Okay, so you've got new love in reverse. At the bottom it says, a new person has stirred romantic feelings. So this person, you do know them. And then you've got true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So yes, you are going to have a committed relationship. You already know who they are. And yes, you do have that strong connection with them. Now the when, now that is very tricky for you at this time. It could be soon. It could be as soon as late spring. Could be as late as January. But that really hinges on him. Let's just hope his team has this video show up in his inbox and he's like, I don't know who this Nicole chick is, but ooh, she like read my mind. I need to dump this dead weight of this relationship I've been hanging on to, and I need to call Jennifer. So let's hope that happens. I hope that happens for you, Jennifer. But and then that way it can be more like springtime, summertime. That was easy. Okay, on to the next one. Merissa Franklin. Oh, you get a totally different deck of cards. Okay. And these, actually, we're going to shuffle these. So you want to know, am I on the right career path? Okay. Yes. That's easy. Easy breezy. So you have the card success. Isn't that beautiful? So yes, they are saying that you are on the right career path. They're encouraging you to trust that you are, because you are having some doubts about it, and your doubts are causing you to have some roadblocks, just some issues that you have to deal with. That, if you had they're saying like the confidence and or like sure that okay, yes, this is it, you wouldn't have those issues. And it's also causing some delays in growth, which can happen. Like say somebody chooses to start their own new business, and maybe it's slow initially getting business in. But say that person's questioning, did I make a bad decision? Should I stay in corporate America? Oh my gosh, I'm not getting the orders that I thought I would get. Holy moly, what is this going to happen? Well, we are there. The law of attraction is true. We're going to attract to us what we're thinking. So where our thoughts are, where our heart is, that's what we're going to attract. So if we're thinking, oh my gosh, I must have made a horrible choice, I chose wrong. What if I'm not going to get business? So you're telling the universe you don't need business, not getting any business. So instead, change that perspective to, oh my gosh, I've got this. People love the products that I create. I can't wait to share these with people. And then focusing on getting out and networking, getting your name out there. And then bam, suddenly business is flourishing because of that shift of perspective. So encouraging you to have a shift of perspective. And yes, you're on the right path. Cornelia, number 7. I would really like to know, what's the deal with the person I can't seem to move on from? We had an incredible connection, and I was so sure she was the one, but she walked away, and I've been struggling with it ever since. I've tried to move on so many times, but something always pulls me back, and we haven't even spoken in 3 years. So at this point, I'm starting to doubt my sanity. That makes me think of that Tyrese song. Every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back, telling me I need you in my life. No, I'm not singing any more songs. Sorry. it is what it is. You guys only had to put up with that once to earn your readings, I suppose, today. Okay. So we're going to pull some cards. They're encouraging you to stop being so hard on yourself. Seems to be a theme today. So all of you out there, stop being so hard, both feminine and masculine. Stop being so hard on yourselves. So you have flirt. At the bottom it says extend your lighthearted energy to others. You have you deserve love. At the bottom it says you are lovable. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And then you have separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Well, obviously you are already separated from each other and not communicating. Okay. So I forget who I was speaking with earlier about how divine masculine and be it soulmates, whatever the connection may be, how they always follow our lead. And even if that's not someone that we're intended to be with long term, until we're energetically at a place where we're loving ourselves, we can't even draw new love in. So to give an example, say someone is not really loving themselves and they're not feeling good about themselves and not enjoying life, which is kind of where you're at right now. Because this flirt card, what they're encouraging you to do is they want you to have fun, enjoy. They even want you to flirt with people. But they just want you to enjoy life. Get outside. Be in a state of gratitude. Be in that state of high vibration. Because when we're loving life and we're loving ourselves, we'll attract someone that loves us. They're encouraging you to love yourself, because you are very hard on yourself, and they're wanting you to know that you are the best thing that's happened to you. To love yourself, to not think that, okay, well, I'm not worthy until I finally have someone to complete me, but to know that you complete yourself. You don't need anyone to find happiness, to be in happiness, and to just really enjoy life. You see, she's pausing to smell the roses. So I encourage you at this time where you are separated, you're not together, focus on you, focus on loving yourself, have fun, do activities that you enjoy, do things that you love, do things that you enjoy, because then you are ready to bring, be it that person back or bringing someone else in. But you need to laugh, you need to enjoy life. They are saying do not reach out to her because that is something you're contemplating. They're encouraging you to not do that at this time. And what they were saying is that example that they wanted to give. So say someone isn't loving themselves. They're not loving themselves. They don't think they're worthy. They're like, oh my gosh, I need someone to complete me because my life is so, they can be thinking my life is miserable and I don't have any fun. But when I meet someone, when I finally have someone, I'll finally enjoy my life. And then they'll meet someone that the person's a Debbie Downer. They don't enjoy getting out. They don't enjoy having fun. They're just like, oh, don't be so sad. Woe is me. Life is horrible. And they're like, this isn't the type of person I wanted. But where were you energetically when you attracted that person? In a bad state of, I'm not happy with my life. My life won't be happy and joyful until I have someone here. My life is so sad. I'm totally incomplete. I'm just not enjoying life. I'm not getting out and smelling the rose. I'm not having fun with friends and family. I'm not just enjoying every little bit of life, even simple things and big things. I'm just really just going to sit here upset until I find the one that makes me happy. And then I get Mr. Dopey here who makes me depressed. So what went wrong? Well, you attract where you are. That's what we do. That's why for many of us, maybe we had a deep core thing that needed to be healed, a fear of being abandoned. Because many of you've had that fear, a fear of somebody abandoning you. And until that deep core wound is healed, you'll find that you keep attracting someone who abandons you, who leaves you. Like if you look back, you look at, I've had friends abandon me. Every time I've had a potential partner, they've up and disappeared and they really haven't wanted to commit. And because you didn't want to commit, because of this fear that, okay, if I commit to them, if I'm all in, they're going to up and abandon me and hurt me and leave me. So I will attract someone who's never going to commit to me, who's never going to be all in. And they might even go above and beyond to show me what needs to be healed, and they'll abandon me to show me that's what you've got to fix in there for you to get the love of your life to come in. So we attract where we are, which is why they're not going to give us any information other than, actually, Archangel Michael says they're not going to give any information as to where she is at this point, other than they just want you to use this time where you are separated from her to love you, love life, have fun, enjoy things, because then you can attract her. Or if it has to be someone else in, no, don't you jump. You can attract them in so that you can enjoy life together. What are you doing, Allie? And that was Allie. The whole not jumping, I wasn't talking to you, Cornelia. That was Allie. She got up on the corner and she was about to jump through my tripod. And that would have been disastrous. Right before we finished the last one. Why does something always happen right before we finish the last one? Okay, we are on to the last one, LW. And we're just going to pull a simple angel answer card for you. Wrap this up. LW, is he really my twin flame? If so, why is he still not showing up? Well, we will go with that. Is he really my twin flame? Nope, there we go. You've got to be kidding me. I just wanted the angels to give us a simple yes or simple no, because this deck of cards has 2 yeses and it has 2 no's. And what do they give us? Compromise, because they're smart Alex. So this person, they're not going to say, oh, right. Well, this person is definitely a high-level soulmate, if nothing else. They are a high-level soulmate. And if he is going to be coming back, the reason he is not coming back is because you are not in balance. Who was I explaining the balance thing to? LR is who I believe it was. So, which that's funny, LW. I think it's LR. So if you haven't listened to everyone else's answers, go back and listen to their answers about the importance and significance of divine feminine coming into balance in order for the divine masculine to take their steps. So, not saying that he's not a twin soul. Not saying that. He's definitely a high-level soulmate. Likely a twin soul, because when it comes to twin souls or twin flames, they have to be in complete balance before anything can come forward. And since you're wanting to know why is he not showing up, there's some balance that they're encouraging you to achieve first. So I do hope that that helps everyone. If you joined us today, I'm very glad that you joined us. If you have not submitted a question, please submit a question, and then we can hopefully maybe get your name pulled. If you have already submitted a question, you are already in the bowl, so who knows, we might get you pulled out and get you taken care of on Tuesday. And everybody continue to hang in there in this time. Call your family, call your loved ones. Let them know you love them. Have a conversation. Got nothing else going on, hanging out in the house. Might as well catch up with people. And if you can get outside, get some fresh air. These two are all spastic about that right now because we can take a little walk around the block. And I will talk again with all of you on Tuesday. Sending you a lot of love, joy, and blessings.